The machine and take the roll. Members will record their presence by pressing the green button. Has every representative present recorded their presence? Clerk, lock the machine. We have 69 representatives present. There is a quorum. All rise for the invocation to be delivered by Whip Edwards, who will also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Whip Edwards.
Dear God, we pray that as we deliberate today, you grant us greater wisdom so that our actions will best honor the people we represent. Help us to continue to look beyond ourselves to seek ways to better the lives of those we serve. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any objection to the approval of the journal of the previous day? Hearing none, so ordered. The next order of business is communications. Clerk, please read.
Representative Stephen Ucci is unable to attend session today, Tuesday, January 26, 2016.
New business. Any new business out there? Chairman Gallison with new business. Chairman Malik with new business. Chairman Azanara with new business. Representative Casey with new business. Representative Coughlin with new business. Representative McNamara with new business. Chairwoman Serpa with new business. Chairman Shikachi with new business. Representative Slater with new business. Representative Ruggiero with new business. Representative Nunes with new business. Representative Regenberg with new business. Representative McEntee with new business. Any other new business? Any other new business? The next order of business is the calendar. Clerk, please read item number 2 on today's calendar.
Item number 2, Senate 2002.
Chairman Keeble.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 2002 by Senator McCaffrey is the companion to House Bill 7003 by Chairman Craven, the Good Samaritan Act, that passed in the House unanimously last week. As we heard last week, this bill enjoys widespread support in the recovery and medical care communities, as well as with law enforcement. As I also said last week, this bill is one small step toward a better understanding and dealing with opioid addiction and overdose. It is also a loud statement by the General Assembly that we will not stand by silently while our citizens fight this terrible scourge. I move passage.
Chairman Keeble moves passage. That is seconded by Chairman McNamara, Representative Mello, Representative Tabone, Representative Barros, Representative Abney, Representative Lancia, Representative Filippi, Representative Roberts, Representative Giarrusso, Representative Morgan, Representative Chippendale, Representative Solomon, Representative Coughlin, Representative Kazarian, Representative Casey, Representative Johnson, Representative Diaz, Representative Slater, Representative Bennett, Representative Hull, Representative Agello, Representative Hearn, Chairwoman Serpa, Representative Costantino, Chairman Gallison, Representative Maldonado, Representative Fogarty, Representative Ackerman, Chairman Shikachi, Representative Regenberg, Representative Amori, Representative Canario, Representative Tanzi, Representative Lombardi, Chairman Handy, Representative Ruggiero, Representative Carson, Representative McEntee, Chairman Craven, Whip Edwards, Representative O'Brien, and Representative McCannon, as well as Representative Williams and Representative Marshall, Representative Messier and Representative Morin, Whip Trillo and Representative Costa, as well as Representative Price and Representative Blazewski. I believe that was the entire House. Leader Newberry also. There are no lights. Clerk, unlock the machine. All in favor, please vote green. Those opposed, red. Clerk, block the machine. 71 in favor, 0 opposed. The act prevails. Is there any objection to transmitting that to the Senate? Hearing none, transmit that right away, clerk. To the governor. Hearing no objections, send it right away. Clerk, please read the next item on today's calendar.
Item number 1, number 7025.
Chairman Keeble.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 7025 by Representative Lombardi deals with deferred sentences and allows their expungement after 5 years if the defendant has completed all the terms of his agreement, kept and maintained the peace, paid any fines and any restitution to any victims, and can show at a hearing good moral character. This bill passed on a unanimous vote, 73-0 last year. I move passage.
Chairman Keeble moves passage. That is seconded by Representative Slater, Representative Tabone, Representative Mello, Representative Barros, Representative Abney, Representative Solomon, Representative Coughlin, Representative Kazarian, Representative Blazejewski, Representative Bennett, Representative Hull, Representative Agello, Representative Maldonado, Representative Fogarty, Representative Regenberg, Representative Amori, Chairman Handy, Representative Tanzi, Representative Canario, Representative Ruggiero, Representative McEntee, Chairman Craven, Representative Almeida, Representative McCannon, Representative O'Brien, Representative Cannavale, Representative Marshall, Representative Costantino. Representative Lombardi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good seeing you again today.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Members of the House, just very quickly, this is an important bill, especially for those in the minority community, those in the poorer communities. This is giving them an opportunity. This is good for not only employment, it's good for housing, it's good for loans. It just has such an impact. You know, and these are individuals. These are not the worst of the worst people. These are people that sometimes come with a problem, whether it be drugs, whether it be alcohol, a stupid thing that they may have done, and it just gives them a second chance. I just urge my colleagues to please pass this. It's a long time coming, and really what we're doing is the Supreme Court has told us we need to do this. So please vote in favor of this. It's very, very important. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Morgan.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could I ask a question of Representative Lombardi, please?
If he will yield, will Representative Lombardi yield? He will.
I'll try, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'm not a lawyer, and I honestly don't understand what a deferred sentence agreement is. Could you explain it?
Yeah, what a deferred sentence is, it's basically, it's not a sentence at all. Somebody may steal a credit card, hypothetically, use it, spend a couple of $1,000s. The court says you need to go for counseling, you need to make restitution, you need to do, X, Y, or Z. You complete that. You have 5 years. If you have good moral character for 5 years, you don't get arrested for anything else, it goes away, basically. That's what would happen.
Okay,
the way it's treated now, it's really a conviction. It's treated as a conviction, and you're not allowed to expunge it until 10 years after completion of the 5 years. So you essentially have this mark on your record for whether it be for housing, whether it be for loans, whether it be for employment, for 15 years rather than 5. And to me, I call it a felony filing. On a misdemeanor filing, it's 1 year. This is 5 years. Okay?
I think I understand it. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Chairwoman Macbeth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a question for either the sponsor or the chairperson.
Well, I believe the chairman will yield.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not a lawyer either, so I have a question because it talks about a first offender and this being expunged. If it's expunged, how do we know then from there on out whether they're a first offender or not? Could they have it expunged and then we don't know that they're a first offender? How do we know if they've become a second offender? It's been expunged.
So in your scenario, someone takes advantage of this, has something expunged, and then at some point in time in the future commits another crime, they would be a first offender again.
Thank you.
Representative Almeida.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. ladies and gentlemen of the House. To Rep. John Lombardi, he's been working on this for quite a while, so we thank you, John. Yes, it deals with people of color, but in general, it deals with poor people, where there is no color. There's an opportunity to change one's life and to go forward. There are many people, I'm sure, within that we may know, or we have friends and family that are deserving that second shot, and that is what Rep. John Lombardi is trying to do with this bill. So I ask that if anything, that there be some compassion of what we're. Come on, man. God damn. Let me try this again. Compassion, as you always know, Mr. Speaker, is not one of my better points. But compassion in this bill is what Rep. John Lombardi is trying to do. And he's been doing that even before he came up to this dome. That's what we always talk about, giving people a second shot in life. And as we look at some of these criminal bills that are about to come before us, we really need to look at not just what it's about for today, but what it will be for somebody for tomorrow. So, John, the black and Latino and the people of poor and people of color, my brother, we thank you.
Representative Lombardi.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to respond to Representative McBeth, but I don't know. I don't want to be out of order.
No, proceed, please.
Well, again, I may not have the answer. The good thing about this, Mr. Speaker, as you know, if you review the expungement statute, law enforcement always has access to this. This is an expunged record. It's not sealed and destroyed. But law enforcement will always have access to these records. So it doesn't disappear completely. Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Leader DeSimone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. I think it's incumbent upon me to remind everybody that currently this is the law. So what this bill does is it fills a gap, because what we did was, after we passed the expungement law, there was a gap that didn't take care of deferred sentences. Then subsequent to that, we in the General Assembly took care of deferred sentences going forward. So with this bill by Representative Lombardi, what this bill does, it fills the gap of, let's say, 100 or so deferred sentences that didn't actually meet within the timeline. So currently this is the law. This takes care of the gap. So I would urge my colleagues to vote in support of this piece of legislation.
Thank you, Leader. There are no other lights. Clerk, unlock the machine. All in favor, please vote green. Those opposed, red. Clerk, lock the machine. 70 in favor, 1 opposed. The act prevails. I believe that concludes the calendar. Announcements and introductions. Representative Costa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a resolution with the permission from Leader DeSimone and Leader Newberry on the passing of my friend Mike Grossi. It doesn't have to be read, sir.
Send it up, please.
And I also have an adjournment.
Proceed.
Thank you, sir. This one's a little hard for me because he was one of my best friends in the universe, but the other day we lost Michael Grossi, who was a former North Providence GOP chairman. Michael was only 42 years old, and the saddest part of this story is 14 months ago he lost his wife and was left raising two small children. A little while ago, Mike comes into my coffee house and he's like, "Doreen, I beat it." I said, "Thank God your kids need you." And I had scheduled to go visit Mike yesterday morning. I got the okay from hospice and I got the okay from his family, but I was a day too late, so I didn't get to say goodbye to one of my best friends. So not only did we lose Mike, he also lost his wife to breast cancer 14 months ago, and now he's left with his two small children without parents right now. So I ask you, Mr. Speaker, and the entire House to please adjourn in one of my best friends named Mike Grossi. Thank you.
We absolutely will, Representative. Thank you. Representative Costa moves House Resolution expressing condolences on the passing of Michael William Grossi. That is seconded by Leader Newberry, Leader DeSimone, and the entire House of Representatives. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Representative Agello.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed.
I would like the House to join me in congratulating Representative Aaron Regenberg on his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Aaron.
Coincidentally, I believe he's 26 today, and today is the 26th. That's only going to happen once.
He's at an age where we can actually say his birthday.
Yes, that too. Also, could we go back to new business?
We can. Representative Agello with new business. Representative Blizewski with new business. Representative Corvesi with new business. Chairman Azanaro with new business. Representative Norton with new business. Representative Ruggiero with new business. Chairman Kennedy with new business. Any other new business out there? Representative Tabone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, today we have a guest, a young woman, very inspirational, very motivational. She's one of my best friends and an inspiration to women in general. On behalf of Rep. Barrows, Rep. Kazarian, Rep. Coughlin, and the rest of the Pawtucket delegation, Rep. Johnson, Rep. Messier, Councilwoman Sandra Cano is here visiting us today. She's one of the hardest working women that I know, and I just want to thank her for being here and for all the support that she's given us and the work that she does in the city of Pawtucket. Thank you.
I agree, Representative. Councilwoman, welcome to the House of Representatives. I don't see you right now, but welcome to the House. Representative Corvesi.
Announcement, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to add my voice to Doreen's regarding Mike. He was a great guy. He worked hard for the Republicans in North Providence. He got along well with everyone, and he will be sorely missed, and it is a tragedy what has happened to his family.
Thank you, Representative. Chairman Azanaro.
Thank you, Speaker. I don't believe I voted on the Senate bill, S-2002. If I did not, I would like to vote in the affirmative, please.
The request is granted. Chairman Azanaro in the affirmative on item number 2. You did vote, Chairman.
I did.
You did.
Thank you.
You're more efficient than you realize. Chairman Kennedy.
Announcement, Mr. Speaker, that the House Committee on Corporations will be meeting at the Rise in room 203.
Chairman Shikachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the agreement and consent of the House Majority and Minority Leader, I'd ask for immediate consideration for a House resolution congratulating Chief Armstrong on 35 years of service to the City of Warwick. He's retiring tomorrow. It does not need to be read, but I ask that it be left on the desk for signatures. It is signed by the entire Warwick delegation. Thank you.
Send it up, please, Chairman. Thank you. Representative Blizewski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed.
The House Committee on Judiciary will be meeting at the Rise in room 101. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fogarty.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement.
Proceed.
Last evening, many of the Southern Rhode Island representatives were invited to the Rhode Island Southern Firemen's League dinner. And at that dinner last night, Representative Teresa Tanzi was given the great honor of the 2015 Legislator of the Year Award, and it was presented to her last night. And I just want to congratulate Teresa on the award, and everybody should give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Congratulations, Representative. Representative Tanzi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an adjournment.
Proceed.
It is with great sadness that I announce the death of Narragansett town manager. It was a shock to find out early this morning that she had passed away. And I just don't have a lot of the details at the moment, but I just would like for us to adjourn in her honor this evening. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We will, Representative.
Pamela is her name. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairman Shikachi moves House Resolution congratulating Warwick Fire Chief Edmund Armstrong on his retirement after 35 years of faithful and exemplary service to the citizens of Warwick. That is seconded by Chairman Kennedy, Representative Solomon, Chairman McNamara, Representative Bennett, Whip Trillo, Representative Moran, Representative Casey, Chairwoman Serpa, Representative McEntee, myself, and that's it. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please leave it on the desk for signatures. Representative Marshall.
Announcements, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
I wanted to just recognize and let my colleagues in the room know that I had a rare sighting of an entity that we thought was going extinct in the state of Rhode Island. I saw a crane in the sky in the town of Portsmouth. And due to your leadership and leadership of this body and bodies past with the alternative energies, we're fortunate to see, in collaboration with private entities that have the wherewithal to withstand and work with the grid in our state of Rhode Island, as well as the hoops and hurdles that they needed to jump in order to replace the existing wind turbine in the town of Portsmouth. And I just want to shout out to the representatives, Chairman Gallison, Whip Edwards, Representative Cannavale, Representative Canario, and Chairman Gallison, that without their push, that turbine could be sitting there for decades to come, and taxpayers' dollars that were invested, as well as townspeople's dollars that were invested, would not come back to the coffers and go back into the renewable energy program that we have put forth in the past. So I wanted to just give a shout out to Wind Energy and Mark DePasquale. Kudos to investing in the state of Rhode Island, because this is one of many more to come, 10 more in Coventry, and more to come from there on in, providing that we stay on these rules and regulations and we make it so that we can push these projects forward. So I see more cranes in the sky coming for the state of Rhode Island, Mr. Speaker. Thanks to you.
Thank you, Representative. Thank you for the leadership of all involved on the Portsmouth project. And from the news that we've been getting as of late, we are in fact going to see more cranes in the sky as a result of the leadership of all of you and everybody working collaboratively in the state of Rhode Island. That's the governor, the Senate, everybody working together. The state's moving in the right direction, so spread that message. Representative O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement?
Proceed.
I'd like to add my voice to Representative Costa and Representative Arthur Covesi. Mike Grossi was a good friend of mine, but his wife taught with me for over 7 years at Mount Pleasant High School. She was a wonderful person, a wonderful teacher, and what's happened to their family is has to be devastating, and my heart goes out to all of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative, all of us. Our thoughts are with the family. Representative McCannon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Announcement, please.
Proceed.
The House Committee on Labor will meet at 3:30 in the afternoon before the session on Thursday afternoon, and continue again at the Rise if necessary. Thank you.
Representative McEntee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Adjournment.
Proceed.
I would like to join Teresa Tanzi in remembering Town Manager Pamela Nolan in her sudden death this morning and express my deep condolences. But I'd also like to adjourn on the passing of my friend, Robert G. Powers. He was a member of the Rhode Island State Police from 1971 to 1994. He retired as a lieutenant. I remember in high school being rather intimidated and very much impressed by his amazing uniform. I now have gotten to know him over the years. He lives in Narragansett most of his life. He summered at Bonnet Shores Beach Club, and many of you who may know him have seen him at the Willows, the Twin Willows, on a regular occasion. But he was also, he was an Air Force, a United States Air Force veteran, and served in 1964 to 1968 in Germany and Libya. He was survived by his wife, Barbara, and his sons, Mark and Christopher. So he's been a good friend. I know he'll be sadly missed by the Narragansett community, and he had a wonderful life. So with that, I'd like to adjourn in his honor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We certainly will, Representative. Thank you. Chairman Handy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction?
Proceed.
I just want to introduce the House Chamber to my new intern, Stephen Trangasi, who's a URI student who's going to be working with me this year. I'm looking forward to it. And again, if everybody just give him a nice warm round of welcome. Thank you.
Welcome. You couldn't be interning with a better chairman, and you go to a great institution. So thank you for your service to the House. Any other announcements and introductions? Any further announcements or introductions? Is there any objection to transmitting all matters on the clerk's desk to Her Excellency the Governor, the Honorable Senate, or the Secretary of State forthwith? Hearing none, so ordered. Leader DeSimone moves that the House adjourn in memory of Robert Powers, Michael W. Grossi, and Pamela Nolan. Motion is seconded by Leader Newberry. All those in favor, please stand for a moment of silence. The House stands adjourned.